Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? I hope that everybody enjoyed their weekend. It was a very cold and snowy weekend, but I'm glad that the snow didn't stick. I hope that everybody has a great week because we're coming into the middle of winter and it's getting cold. So, everybody buckle up and everybody enjoy their week. I would like to talk about the tragic news that I'm sure the world's been talking about, and it's been all over the radio, it's been all over music, even especially on Grammy night. Um, we're here to talk about Whitney Houston, and we all know that she died 24 hours ago in the Beverly Hills Hilton Hotel, and it's still unknown as to how she died, but a lot of people like myself who did quick posts and didn't really get to talk about the issues about Whitney, but we're going to talk about it today. Um, as we all know, that Whitney Houston died at 48 years old, and she had a troubled past, but for the most part she left us yesterday, and the world is definitely feeling it. I know there's a lot of haters out there like myself who, I'm an admitted hater, so guys like me who are out there talking shit and disrespecting Whitney. Normally I would talk shit, but you know something, because I kind of like Whitney wasn't really my problem. I more talk shit about a lot of other things, but today I kind of respected her voice and I kind of respected this beautiful woman, so I'm not going to disrespect her like that. But I am going to disrespect somebody else, and I'm going to get to him in a minute. But as we all know, that the cause of her death is still unknown, and the media is so busy, and the media is going to do this all week where they're going to focus on what was the cause of death. But according to reports, they're saying that this could be an accidental drowning where she might have took some prescriptions and fell asleep in the tub and then drowned herself and then couldn't get any help to get herself out of it. It sounds like one of those situations, just like with Heath Ledger, who might have taken a lot of prescriptions and then just like it with Heath, he took a lot of prescriptions, went to sleep, and he never woke up. So, a lot of issues are going to be played within the next couple of weeks. Right now, as Entertainment Weekly, is going to do a magazine spread about her, and then there's going to be Entertainment Tonight, and all these little entertainment shows that are going to come out and talk about probably one of the greatest voices in music in our time. A lot of people, have been expressing their views about Whitney Houston. When you think of her, you think of songs like "I Will Always Love You," "The Greatest Love of All at Once." There's other songs like "One Moment in Time," which I never really heard that song before, but I just heard it the other day, and it is beautiful. She did so many beautiful things with her music. Like she did the Star Spangled Banner, beautiful, where nobody can ever sing a song like that. She did "I Will Always Love You" from the Bodyguard soundtrack, which was probably the most top-selling movie soundtrack of our time, where she did songs like "Run to You," "Queen of the Night." I mean, just songs that, and of course, "I Will Always Love You," which was probably the most beautiful song that you could ever listen to. I mean, just songs that are so beautiful in her career are amazing. I mean, the one thing that I was just disappointed was that she met this bum that we all know as Bobby Brown. And something, this is a quick open letter to Bobby Brown. I know the world hates you, Bobby, and something, it's fucked up that you didn't kind of like step to the podium and take responsibility. You know how Bobby can solve his problems tomorrow morning. You know what he needs to do? Bobby needs to go to the world of the young American children who think that it's cool to smoke weed and do crack and stick a needle in their arm, and actually talk to these young people and tell them, you know what? Don't be a piece of shit like me, who brought a beautiful, talented singer down and basically was so jealous of her career. She paid my bills. I beat on her. I spit on her, according to Whitney in that Oprah interview. Bobby, you need to fess up. You need to get on the podium and stop pretending that you're the victim and actually go on TV and tell the world, you know what, I am going to take responsibility for what I did. Especially when Whitney, deserves that. You basically put her in the grave. You basically introduce her to a world that, you know what, a lot of people say, well, it's her choice. It was the decision she made. You know something? Yes, it might have been the decisions she made, but it was also him who influenced those decisions too. It goes both ways. I mean, it's easy to say, well, it's a person's choice, but also that choice was influenced by bad behavior. And because that bad behavior turned into drug use for God knows how long she's been doing. I guess in the 16 years they've been married, it's just in and out of trouble, in the paper, out the paper. She had a black eye, she's been smacked, she's been spit on, she's been in more drug rehabs than you could possibly think. She went through her money like it was water. Just destructive behavior that the world needs to know that Whitney would be alive today had she not been introduced by this man. And you know something, Bobby? The problem with you is you so busy crying to the world. Everyone knows that they hate you because the fans believe you brought her down. You destroyed that beautiful voice by introducing her to a world that she didn't really know nothing about. Maybe she was naive by the fact that she loved you so hard, but the fact of the matter is, and women need to stop doing this too, don't love a damn man more than you love yourself. Because this is the type of shit that men will do to bring you down. This was a man who made My Prerogative, and then he just had a one-hit wonder, and then the same dumb shit that he's been trying to promote, that same song. How many times are you going to promote a song that, okay, it was good at its time, but nobody cares no more? Now we're at the point where, Bobby, you need to stop crying. Whitney Houston, who was a major megastar, paid your bills. She put up with your shit. She put up with your verbal abuse. You basically smacked her. She used to be spit on. Anything to bring this woman down, you did. You tried to destroy her emotionally, and you did. And she died alone, Bobby. And it's fucked up that you're on TV and, you will, from what rumors from people who are, behind the scenes are saying, because you haven't been on TV publicly, but a lot of people behind the scenes are saying you're crying about Whitney and your daughter, it used to be on this stuff because, she's on, doing cocaine, because she's wild too, because she saw what was happening in the house. And you know what's really crazy about this whole scenario is that everyone knew when Whitney died, it was not a surprise. A lot of people said we're gonna lose her if we don't get her to stop using that stuff. Everything with her was just going into a destructive path. And then the real problem is that you could change this problem. He's so busy, but my problem with Bobby is that he's one of those dudes that get on TV and doesn't want to admit that he did something wrong. It's almost like say you're in a car and you hit a person's child. You're the one screaming, "Well, I'm the victim because the kid should have never ran in the street." Something, you're just as wrong as the situation that happened. Something, it's the same problem with Bobby. Just get on TV and say to the world, world, I was jealous of Whitney. I was jealous of her money because she was a bigger star than I was. I basically would drink because I hated coming home knowing that this woman would talk about how much money she made, her beautiful songs. Every time you listen to the radio, she was getting promotions and people wanted to put her in movies while Bobby couldn't really get on track. And she was paying my bills. She paid my child support. She got me out of jail. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And this is like 16 years of this shit. And you owe it to Whitney to get on TV and say, you know what? Before she is buried into the ground, and I don't know if they're going to cremate her or they're going to basically bury her. I think it more sounds like a burial, but something? You need to go to the podium and say to the world, world, I am truly sorry for what I did to Whitney. I basically put her life through hell. I introduced her to a world she didn't really understand. And because I introduced her to that world, I was more jealous of anything. And I am truly and deeply sorry to her. And I hope God will forgive me for the sins I did to her. And I hope that she can forgive me, and pray to God that God mostly forgive me. Because while everybody's praying about God and everything else, no one, he doesn't get on TV and say, I'm sorry. Stop going on TV crying about, I miss my wife and all that, my ex-wife and all that dumb shit. Get on TV, tell the young kids of America, don't ever meet a man like me. Love yourself. Love who you are as a person. Don't love no man like me, because men like me are pieces of shit, and we just will destroy your life. And or I will always put up, because I have a little girl myself, I am always going to tell my little girl about Whitney and the problems that she had. Not just about the idea that she was a beautiful and amazing singer, but I'm also going to talk about the trials and tribulations of what her life was, and making my daughter understand that, something, you are going to grow up and you're going to make mistakes, but love yourself before you love any damn man. Don't go into a relationship thinking that you have to make this man happier to have him love you. Because that's basically what Whitney did. Whitney loved this man so hard. For 16 years, she did everything to make him happy. And he just couldn't be happy because he was jealous of the fact that this star was more bigger than him. And you know something? You owe it to her for that. And you know something? Until you do, people are going to call you a piece of shit. Nobody's going to show you the love. No one is going to ever respect you until you do that. Until you tell the young kids of America what kind of piece of shit you are. And until you tell the young kids that, you know something, in America, in America or across the country, let the whole entire planet know, don't ever meet a man like me, and don't love yourself. You have to love yourself more than you love some damn man. Don't lower yourself, I was going to say, to the man's level where he's going to treat you like shit. Love yourself. Look in the mirror. My mother always used to say, you know what, look in the mirror, what do you see? You see yourself. Love yourself. And I'm not talking about in a selfish way. Have the self-esteem in your heart to have enough love to say, you know what, before I go bowing down to a man and showing boo how much I really love him, look at yourself and say, you know what, but before any man comes into my life, I love myself, and I will always love myself. And that's what women need to understand about these men across the world. People like Bobby Brown are out there, and they're fucking jealous, and they will do anything to show misery loves company. Believe me when I tell you, if I was in Bobby Brown's position, that would be exactly the thing I would do, is to show Whitney, I am truly sorry for the horrific things I introduced you to, that I shown you to, and at the end basically killed you. So, I'm sorry that I got a little emotional about this, but you know something? I just want women to understand that, you know something? The 3 dangerous words that you will listen to out of a piece of shit like Bobby Brown are I love you. They don't give a 2-bit shit about you. I just wish women would stop trying to hold on to these men and trying to change them and think that, you know what, they're going to get better. I don't care if you got a baby with them. I don't care if you've been with them 25 years, 45 years, or 900 years. The fact of the matter is, if the man is treating you like shit emotionally, if the man is introducing you to a world that you have never experienced and you can't seem to get out of, if the man is using I love you to take advantage of you, he never loved you in the beginning. So do yourself a favor. Let's all cut the bullshit about these fucking men. Stop loving them so goddamn hard. Step up, people. If they're not doing you right, kick them the fuck out, and make sure that when you find a real good man, you keep that man, and you let that man know that, you know what, if he's treating you with respect and he loves you enough, then at the end of the day, that's someone who loves you for you and wouldn't take advantage of you. So do yourself a favor, America. Why are we sitting here crying about Whitney, and we're going to be listening to her music all week long and all month long and all year long and the years to come? Just remember, don't go through the situation that she went through, because there are going to be many stories like her coming around the corner. And you know something? I just pray to God, and I pray this for anybody who's been in this situation. If you are in it, get the fuck out of it, and then say to yourself, you know what? I need to learn to love me again. So you know something? You all take care of yourself. Whitney, we love you, and you know, I will see when you're gonna get buried, and you know something? You are a legend in our time, and you know something? I will remember you for what you did in music, and I will remember your trials and tribulations that will help my child to see that, you know what? I don't ever want her to go through the experience you went through, that you've shown that not only that you were a beautiful person inside, but you know, in terms of your music, but you were being damaged by a man that basically didn't care about you. So I love you, Whitney, and I thank you for the brilliant music that you gave us, and I thank you for giving us such an inspiration through your music. I'm just sorry that we couldn't save you when you needed to be saved. But you know something? I truly hope in your life and in heaven that God has a place for you, and that you earn the wings, because your music showed us that God's love is beautiful and there's nothing to be afraid of when you're about to die. So you know something? Thank you again, Whitney, and we love you so very much. And for all those who are going through tragedies and you know, with this type of problem she's going through, get some help is basically what I'm saying. Because believe me when I tell you, Boo don't give a shit about you. And you know, I'm gonna call this an end and say, you know what? As always, like I tell everybody, remember, use your mind, it's your best weapon. Again, we love you, Whitney, and we will truly and deeply miss you. So, thank you again for the brilliant music you gave us in your life, and the beautiful sound and voice that came from the heaven, that you truly are our angel. We love you, and I love you. Thank you all. Take care of yourself, and have a great week.